everybody, today I'm reading Booktok books I think I'm gonna hate. Hey everybody, my name is Sophie the Book Explorer. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a little bit of an experiment. So there's a couple of authors that I thought I'm never gonna read, or I'm probably past like the demographic that they are supposed to be for, or it's not really my thing. And they're obviously, most of them are very popular on Booktok and other social media. And I thought, nah, I don't think they're for me. But then I thought, what if I'm wrong? So usually I read a lot of diverse reading, a lot of heavier books, and sometimes I just need something fun. And I see that a lot of the girlies and a lot of the popular books are just that fun. And this year, by mistake, I read Two Hollow Vows. I didn't read Two Hollow Vows by mistake. I read it because I wanted to. I thought it was a fantasy. I didn't realize it was a fantasy, fairy, romantasy with a little bit of smut. And I thought this was fun. I mean, it wasn't like my favorite book of all time, but it was a lot of fun. I think they're great palate cleansers. And sometimes you just need, like, when you're watching a movie, you don't always watch documentaries, right? Or like heavy dramatic films. Sometimes you need that rom-com in there. So I thought maybe I'm gonna give those authors a try, those books a try, and see if I like them. So first things first, let me find in my physical TBR if I have any of those books. So let's look for them. So as you can see right here, I do have my heavier books, but let's see over here, I have like my more fluffy books. So I do have Taylor Jenkins Reid. So Taylor Jenkins Reid, I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in 2022 and really hated it, but she's really popular. So, and I watched the Daisy Jones adaptation and I also hated it until the end. The end got me. So I'm thinking maybe, and I know this has a correlation to Daisy Jones. So I also have Daisy Jones. I could read that one, but because I already saw the series, I feel like I would be cheating a little bit. So maybe this one could be an option. As you can see, almost at the bottom of my shelf, I have Akatar here. Now, I was never planning on reading them. I got them for my store, but I don't have the complete set, and I wanted to sell them as a set. I don't want to separate them. I haven't sold them, so I figured, hey, maybe I haven't sold them because they're meant for me. I'm scared. So how about we read A Court of Thorns and Roses? So this is the first one, right? Yeah, I think so. So this one was really one that I said that I would never read. So I guess we're trying it. Okay, now this is a difficult one because I do like the Six of Crow duology, but I've heard that the Shadow and Bone trilogy isn't that great. So I was never planning on reading that one, but maybe I should. And I do have book 1 and book 3. So maybe I can try book 1 and see what I think about it. Okay, and another one that I got from my store and haven't sold is this one, The Samurai Turned Pretty. So again, I wasn't planning on reading it. I've been seeing the series. I think it's dumb, but it's fun because it's dumb. It turns my brain off. But maybe I should read it and see what I think about it. So maybe I'll add it to the pile. Okay, so I have my possible TBR for this week, and I have another one that's online, then I don't have it. So I think I'm gonna start with that one. Okay, so the first one is called Two Players? Two Can Play? Something like that. Okay, so my first one is from Ali Hazelwood. I know everybody loves Ali Hazelwood. I wasn't really planning on reading Ali Hazelwood because I'm not a Raylo fanfic stan. I love Star Wars. I love it. Raylo thing is a little weird for me. And I know that like all the covers, it feels like Raylo. So I never bought anything from Ali Hazelwood. Again, everything that I'm saying here is no shade to everybody who loves it. As you guys know, and I've said it before in all my videos, whenever I don't like a book, I wish that I would like it. Like, it's not hate. Like, I wish that I would like everything that I read and everything that's out there. I just don't think it's for me, right? Like, I find that Raylo thing a little weird. I do like the STEM thing. Like, I really like that. But I've also heard things about, like, most of them are like co-working things or professor student things. And as a teacher and as someone who works in corporate, who saw a lot of people having inappropriate relationship, all that like icks me out and freaks me out and it grosses me out, especially student teacher things or like figures of authority with like other people, like gross. So I like, that's a me thing, maybe like a legal thing also, but mostly like a me thing. So I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know how that's gonna play into how it's done. um so I'm gonna go ahead. I found that on Storytel. I found two players or two can play. I don't remember. I just put it right here. And this is about gamers, like two people who create like games. Game developers, not gamers. Well, gamers also, but game developers. And I like that. I like that idea. I feel it's more like an equal footing thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and listen to that one first and see what my thoughts are. Okay, and I think that after I read that one, I'm gonna go ahead and read A Court of Thorns and Roses. Never thought this would happen, but hey, let's just have fun with it. Okay, maybe I should explain a little bit what I think I'm gonna hate. Like, for the first one, I already said why I think I'm gonna hate it. I don't like the dynamics, like the age dynamics or the authority dynamics. I don't necessarily like the smut. Like, smut wasn't something that I used to read in books when I was younger. I think this is like a new thing that seems like every single book has now when it comes to romance. I'm used to Pride and Prejudice and things like that, and it's not that I'm like a prude or anything. Like, who cares? That's cool. But I feel like so this one, I think that that's one of the things that was talked about a lot, that it was in the YA section, that it was in the fantasy YA section, and that there's a lot of very graphic things. Again, I haven't read it, so I don't know, but I wouldn't want anyone that isn't age appropriate for reading this book having access to this book when they're not supposed to developmentally, right? So hopefully, me as an adult, I can have fun with it and I can read it and be like, oh, okay, this is fun. I finally saw the shape of what this was. This is fun and maybe, but I think that because of what I've heard, that it's mostly about like muddy thing and maybe not so much about the fantasy, or at least that's what's online. That's not my main thing. I like fantasy, like I want like the plot and all that, so hopefully I can see that in this book. But that's why I think I'm gonna hate it, because maybe not a lot of plot, I don't know, so we'll see. Okay, another one that you didn't see me pick, but that I definitely gonna read is Normal People. Now, this is one, this is so bad. I got it at like a library sale. So this is one that a lot of people like. A lot of people like Sally Rooney. A lot of people don't like Sally Rooney. This is, I think, people don't necessarily like her because I think some people think that like the relationships are toxic, maybe not realistic or like maybe romanticizing like toxic things. So I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna like her based on other readers who I follow who have similar tastes than I do that don't like her. So that's why I think I'm not gonna like her. And if it's really toxic, I hope I don't like her, but I'm not sure. So this is Normal People is the only one that I have. Like I said, this is pretty beat up. I got it because I thought that maybe one day I'll give it a chance because a lot of people love her. And I guess this is as good as time as any. Again, just saw that their faces on the cover. Like I don't see things on the cover until they're right up my face. So yeah, okay. I guess I'll read Normal People by Sally Rooney too. Um, oh yeah, and this is about two friends who are kind of in and out of our relationship, and I think this is really toxic, and I think that is why I'm not gonna like it. So we'll see. Okay, so definitely I have a okay, so definitely I have an Ali Hazelwood, a Sarah J. Maas, a Sally Rooney. So those are definitely three people that I think I'm gonna hate. Like not them, like their books, their style. I think I'm gonna hate those books. The other one that I already know that I hated is Taylor Jenkins Reid because I know I hated The Saved Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So now I have Daisy Jones and Malibu Rising. I really think I'm gonna read Malibu Rising. Like I said, I have Daisy Jones, but I watched the series, hated it again, except for the ending. I thought the ending saved it. Evelyn Hugo couldn't be saved by the ending. So we'll see if Malibu Rising is one that I like. If I don't like Malibu Rising, then she isn't for me. She isn't the girly for me, and I'll unhold these two because, like, what am I doing here? So, I mean, I haven't read this one, but again, like I said, I saw the series. So I'll read this one and then I'll see. Okay, and then if I have time, the bonus are Jenny Han, The Samurai Turned Pretty, and Lee Bardugo, Shadow and Bone. I like Lee Bardugo. I just heard that this wasn't the best one, so I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but I actually do like Lee Bardugo, so maybe she's out of the running, maybe if I have time. And Jenny Han I haven't read, but I don't like the series, even though I've watched it. Maybe the book can save it. I don't like love triangles. Hate love triangles between siblings. That's gross. So gross. So I don't know what else to say. I hate that dynamic. I think it's dumb. I think it's unrealistic. I think it's crazy and it's gross. So I don't think I'm gonna like it. So I think if I have an extra time, I think this one's the one that I'm gonna read, see if I like it. So okay, so those are the books that I picked for my authors I think I'm gonna hate. And I'll see you. I'm gonna start listening to Can Play and from Ali Hazelwood, and then I'll come back in a little bit. Hey everybody, okay, let's do an update on Can Play. So I'm having fun. I'm having fun with the book. Definitely better than I thought. So this is a story of Lila and Jesse. Like, I don't know if it's Lila or Viola. Viola would be weird. Let me look for it. Wait. Okay, yeah, her name is Viola, like Viola. Viola. What a weird name. Okay, Viola, and but because it's not Viola, is it Viola? And the audio just said Viola. I mean, I would read it as Viola, but am I discovering something? Okay, let's start with the beginning. So Two Can Play is an audio book. It's only available on audio, and like I said, I found it at Storytel, and it's the only Eileen Hazelwood that I was able to find in audio, and I think that's good because Love Theoretically and all of those are very popular. Everybody has read them. I haven't seen anybody talk about Two Can Play, and I like that. I like that it's a different book that nobody has talked about, and maybe there's something different here. So we have Viola, like Jessie calls her Viola. Here it's written like Viola, but whatever. Let's call her Viola. So Jessie and Viola are two game developers that are working on different companies, but they have both been hired by the owners of this game, I guess, to make game like series 3 of this game based on a book. So that's cute, like based on a fantasy book. Viola has like a like history with the book. It was his father's favorite book, and she's really like into it, and she's like one of the lead designers. And Jess is also one of the lead designers, and he is also in charge of a different team. They work for different companies. They met, like they knew each other. They're like enemies. It's enemies to lovers. They knew each other from school, and she seems to think that he hates her, and the whole thing appears like he hates her. It's very Darcy Elizabeth coded. Coded, get it? So it's very Darcy and Elizabeth coded, because he's super rude to her. He's like mean. There's this Christmas party that they're at where they're under like mistletoe, and everybody's like kiss, 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 and he's like no thank you or whatever, like no. He rejects her like immediately, and she's like she doesn't like him anyways, but she's like whatever, we're here, like let's play along, right? And she overhears him say like she's the last like woman I want to kiss or whatever, like he's something rude. So they already don't like each other. They have friends in common. They went to school together. They, I think, talked a couple of times in school, but then something happened where she really felt like he was rude to her like all the time. So she does think that he really dislikes her, and based on what we're listening to, he really does dislike her. Like something happened that this guy really hates this girl, but she doesn't know what happened. So I'm still waiting to see what is it. Obviously this is gonna be a miscommunication trope, but something happened there. I don't like enemies to lovers. I rather have friends to lovers. That's like my trope. And I don't like miscommunication tropes because I think they're dumb. Because you can just have a conversation about it. So this is a little weird. Now, because they're not friends, necessarily they were just classmates, and now I guess co-workers, and because she has overheard things, the miscommunication kind of works. They're not like people who can have an honest conversation, so it's working for me at the moment, but I want to see how this resolves. So right now what is happening is the book starts when they go on a convention. They're like at a retreat, not a convention, they're at a retreat where both teams are supposed to be working together in order to have a successful launch for that particular game, like create it and launch it and all that. And they are the two leaders of the teams. But it's really difficult for her because she thinks he hates her. And even though she doesn't like him, like she does feel like it's torture to be spending time with him, she doesn't necessarily hate him. She just wants this game to be like awesome. She wants to create a legacy for the game, and because of her family dynamic and the connection to the game, she just really wants to work hard on that. So I really like that even though she like has this problem with him personally, she is able to like be professional, and I'm really liking that whole like professional STEM setting. I think it's really good. Something that I'm noticing is that they are at a retreat, and I have gone to corporate retreats and they're not doing a lot of work. And I know that wouldn't be fun like to read about, but they had like 2 meetings, and they're like, aren't they supposed to be working on like either team building, some like activities for team building or like working on the actual game, and they have had like literally zero time. They're either like at breakfast or at dinner or in their hotel rooms. Like I don't see like a lot of activity, so that's a little weird, but that's okay. That's not the point of the book, but I would have liked to see a bit more corporate stuff. They're there to work. Why are they working? Like none of them. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. So anywho, that's where I'm at. Again, feels very Darcy Elizabeth, so I'm liking that. I'm liking that dynamic. I like that dynamic of Pride and Prejudice. I wouldn't call it enemies to lovers. Again, I wouldn't call these enemies to lovers either necessarily, because although it says here that it's enemies to lovers, or her arch nemesis, they're not in competition. They're actually working together. Nobody's trying to steal anybody's job or anything. So I'm liking that. It's more like they have to work as a team. So I'm really liking that part. So I'll continue reading and then I'll let you know what I think. Okay, guys. So I finished Two Can Play. And this was a surprise. I gotta say, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I really did like it. Let's talk about the things that I didn't like. I don't like the miscommunication trope, so I was really iffy about it until she confronts him. Like, well, there's a couple of, okay, let's go back. Things that I didn't like. The whole working thing made like little to no sense. They're there for a retreat. And they're barely doing any work. So yeah, there were a couple of meetings. And there was one like emergency meeting. And then that's it. We don't see them working anymore. So I feel like the whole working thing, they're never working. So that was a little weird. I wish I would have seen a bit more scenes of them working. Like, we don't have to see it, but at least mention it. Like, it seemed like nobody was ever doing anything. They were just like at the hot tub, like skiing. Like, I don't know what the point was. Or maybe just for them to be friendly, but like, I feel like that wasn't explained. But again, not the main part. The whole point is Jesse and Viola. So whatever. But that's something that I'm nitpicky about. If you're gonna send me on a work retreat, I want to see people working, right? That's the thing. The miscommunication trope, when he was being rude, like very Darcy coded, like hold your hand and then I let you go and then I do this, and what does that mean, right? And like I look at you like grumpily and things like that. So all that felt like a little weird, but once the explanation hit, that I think that's the strong suit of Ali Hazelwood. And if this is what she does on all her work, like I can get on board with her like books and her enemies to lovers when that's not that trope that I like, and with a miscommunication trope. Now I knew something was gonna be explained about the miscommunication because the hatred was there from the beginning, or the dislike. And when Jesse explained it, like I don't want to spoil, but when Jesse explained where all his attitude was coming from, it was completely logical. It was completely logical in his mind that he would interpret something a certain way, like the conversation that was set up, the way he explained it and the way she heard it, like, and they communicated about it was so good. And after that, obviously the romance kind of like took off, and the whole rest of the book was about that, and was about them talking and getting to know each other and actually communicating clearly, because they have seen like what miscommunication had done to them for years, because these are two kids, or these are two people that knew each other back in college, and they're not like professionals working. So this thing had lasted for like years. That's the thing that I was thinking about, like how did this guy last for all these years, like thinking all of this, like insane. But the way she explains it, or the way it's written and is explained, of course he would do that. That consent part, all that, like it's very well done. Like if you wanna know what you should be as a man and as a book boy. Like, if you want to be a book boyfriend in real life, like, Jesse is a perfect example. After that, like, once he explains all that, like, he's amazing. So I think he's one of my favorite book boyfriends. Him and, like, God, I forgot his name from, is he Jesse again? I don't think it's, yes, is it? From Just for the Summer, from Jimenez. Those two guys, best book boyfriends. So yeah, I really ended up liking Two Can Play. They're adults, they're mature. I think also is the age they're working. Like, I really liked it. It felt like an adult, mature story. It is graphic. It is an adult book. I know that Ali Hazelwood is very clear, like, on her adult romance and, like, her YA books, but I know that a lot of people, like, because they're very cartoony, all of the, like, marketing and all of the things for romance right now is very YA coded from the outside, but the content is not. So please, like, I guess depending on the age of the people, but I think this is for adults. And a good chunk of it, once everything is solved, is that. But I think they're very sweet. I think they're very, the communication is, like, all the examples of the communication, of the way they talk at the end, I think it was great. So I think that Ali Hazelwood, I don't want to say too much, because I think that the other dynamics where it's like a boss and, like, someone working, like, under that, like, I don't like that. So I don't want to say that she's great and now I'm gonna read everything by her. I am gonna be stepping, like, slowly into her catalog, I guess. But for now, Two Can Play, I think it's great. I think it's a great book. I think it's well-rounded. I really liked it. So if you haven't read Two Can Play from Ali Hazelwood, you're looking for something to listen, I think it's about 4 hours. I think that is a great option if you're on a road trip or something, or you want to quick read while you do, like, spring cleanup. That would be a great option. So that is Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Okay, my next book is gonna be A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think I'm gonna start it today, and I'll give you an update tomorrow, because obviously I'm not gonna finish this today. So I'll give you an update tomorrow on what I think about this. Hey everybody, so I haven't updated you on what I'm doing today. So it's day 2 of the reading books I think I'm gonna hate, and the book that I am reading is A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I might insert, like, a little bit of a clip in here, a live that I did today. It was kind of a crazy morning, but I was able to do a live over here on YouTube, and then the power went off because we are having a storm. It's supposed to rain all week, so I don't know if that power is gonna be on and off throughout the week. So I had the audiobook, and I almost done with the book. I'm on chapter 37. I don't have a lot left. And luckily the power came back, so hopefully I'm able to finish the book today, and then I'll give you an update tomorrow morning. But I just quickly wanted to update you on day 2, which was that one. Pretty much all I did was had a class in the morning, had a live. I still had power by then, and then the power went off as I was editing and listening to the book. And then the rest of the day was just reading the book and doing, like, things around the house. So anyways, I'll talk to you tomorrow once I'm done with the book, and I'll tell you what I thought of it and my rating and the next book that I'm gonna be reading. So these are my thoughts. I literally just finished it, like, a couple of minutes ago, and I decided to go ahead and talk to you guys about the look today is like a greasy troll editing day. So all I'm gonna do is edit and clean the house. So this is gonna be my look for today, and it's perfect to listen to my audiobooks. First thought is I didn't hate it. And I know that doesn't sound like promising, but remember, these are books that I think I'm gonna hate, or these are authors that I think I'm gonna hate based on what I have heard, not based on anything objective, only based on subjective things I've heard about Booktok and Booktube and people who recommend this book and things like that. This one I gave it a fair shot, and I did like it. Like I said, I didn't hate it, I liked it. I didn't love it, it's not gonna be my favorite. This one I didn't have a hard time to keep on reading it. I liked it. I would finish the series. I would continue with the series. I don't have book 2, I have book 3, so maybe I'll get the audiobook for book 2. I'm not in any hurry of doing that, so I will do it, but not like right now. So that means that I did like it enough to continue at some point. What did I like? I like that it's definitely a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I haven't heard anybody talked about. Yeah, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, beat by beat, almost to the ending, like up to here, I would say. And then this is my qualms with this book. Or well, let me just go ahead and the positive things. Beauty and the Beast retelling, like it. Fantasy, like it. World building, yes, I liked it. I felt like I needed more, but I liked it anyways. I like Feyre. She reminds me of Katniss because of the whole hunting thing, because of the whole taking care of her family thing. I like that. She's kind of like a lone wolf also. I kind of like that. So all that, like, she isn't a scaredy cat. She isn't afraid. So I like all that. Or she is afraid, but she's brave also. So I like that. I like Feyre. I like her as a main character. So in this book, the fairies are like more monstrous. They have a curse. They have fangs. Well, they have, even without the curse, these fairies have fangs and claws and tails, which is a little weird, but fine. I guess it's fine that it's a little bit different. I couldn't wrap my mind around that they were fae. They were called something else. I feel like I would be more invested, but simply because my mind kind of can't marry those two things, like monstrous fae. Like, that's weird in my head, but that's a me thing. It's not a book thing. So yeah, those are the things that I like. What didn't I like about this book? I didn't like that it doesn't feel insta-love, because it's definitely not that, based again on the Beauty and the Beast retelling thing. She obviously has to get along with him at a certain point, and then has to fall for him at a certain point, and vice versa. However, once they do that, it feels like it comes out of nowhere. You don't see a lot of reasons why that would happen. Like, they seem like friends, but she seems to have the same chemistry with the other characters, with Lucian, even with the maid Alice, I think is her name, of the girl who is taking care of her, or the woman who's taking care of her. Like, she seems to have the same chemistry with everyone. So I don't understand why she would fall for this guy, unless she, like, maybe she has, like, she likes him, like, physically she's attracted to him. Like, there doesn't seem to be, she mentions like what he looked like a lot and how good he looks, so obviously she like is attracted to him, but that doesn't mean she grows, like her feelings for him grow. So when they finally like cross that line, so this is spoilers, I think everybody knows by now, doesn't feel earned, doesn't feel like it grew, it feels like it comes out of nowhere, like, yeah, we're together, might as well. And even for him, it also feels like that. It doesn't feel like a lot. There is a point where they're explaining a little bit more. Like, I left my bookmark here because this is the point where he explains a little bit more what happened about his curse. So again, same beats of the classic story. He is cursed, and that's why he is acting a certain way, how he feels. There's also an explanation to the curse and what he does. So you can kind of explain it away, how that love kind of grew so fast or came out of nowhere, but not really. It doesn't feel earned. It just feels like, okay, we're supposed to know because these are the two main characters that they're gonna end up together, at least by the end of book one. So I didn't feel like that, like big, like love story. It didn't feel like that. The smutty scenes, I didn't mind them. They weren't that bad and they weren't that many. So my thought, or what I thought, what from people are talking about this book, is that that's all there is. Like, it's all smut, sprinkle it with a little fantasy. And no, it's really like world building. There's a lot of kingdoms, so there's a lot of world building coming in the next books. I don't know if the next ones get worse, but definitely there's not a lot. Whatever is there, I do feel it's not even that graphic, but still, this is an adult book. This is not a YN. Anything with smut that it's open door, it's gotta be an adult book. Yeah, definitely an adult, but it's not like either that graphic, and it's not like that much. I think there's like 3 scenes in the whole book. What else did I didn't like? Okay, this is how I feel. You might feel differently, but this is how I feel. This is definitely the big chunk of the book, is the Beauty and the Beast retelling, beat by beat. And then this is the whole other book. Like, this is a resolution to this conflict of them being in love. And if this would have been treated as the resolution to this conflict of them being in love, having a curse, she basically being in captivity and working around that in her mind, like, that would have been great. But this is, I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't read it, but when we are introduced to Amarantha, and that's all I'm gonna say, it's a whole different world and it's a whole different book. This could have ended here at page 294, maybe at 50 more pages or 40 more pages to actually solve that conflict for them and actually grow and develop that love story, and then close the conflict. And I hate cliffhangers, but it would have worked with exactly how this happens, how she finds something is wrong, and then that would be at the ending and the cliffhanger, and then this whole thing, because if you know, this whole thing is so, like, at points I was like, I'm done with it. Like, can we please hurry up? Like, whatever the ending is, can we please hurry up? Because there's so much here. Like, this is not a resolution to the conflict. This is a whole new introduction, conflict resolution right here. And this is like from page 295, or maybe even less. Yeah, maybe even less, up to page 400 and something. So yeah, some people will be like, yeah, well, that is the part of the conflict. No. This is like a whole different story. This could be book 2, and I would have liked for this to be book 2. This could have been shorter, or even, like, again, like I said, add 40 more pages to develop the love story, to make it really strong and make us really root for them, and like make us believe that there's no other possible way, and then introduce this as book 2, because this is a whole thing, new characters, new world, new conflict, new resolution. Yeah, so I would have loved for this to be 2 books. That last third, I felt like it was another story, and this felt long because of that. So give me one story completed, and then give me the other one, and you could have had like a longer series. So that's why I liked it. I didn't love it. Yeah, that ending felt like too much, and I don't like it when my books are like slow. Give me everything in the last third. Like, why are you doing that? The last third is to resolve everything that you already set up. Like, this is where the majority of the story should be. This is where everything should be presented, and this is just to resolve. That's how my brain works. So that's why I'm gonna give it, I think I'm gonna give it at 3.5. So yeah, that was my journey with A Court of Thorns and Roses. Do I hate Eileen Hazelwood? No. Do I hate Sarah J. Maas? No. Would I give both of them a second chance? Yes. Are they my favorite authors now? No. I think Ali Hazelwood has more of a chance to be one of my new favorite. I have to read the other ones. So yeah, we'll see about the next one. Okay, so let's talk about the next book that I'm gonna read for my blog. I think the next one is probably gonna be Sally Rooney with Normal People. I have my copy. I have my physical copy. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So my very beat up physical copy that I got at a used bookstore. I don't remember if it was a used bookstore or if it was like a library sale, because I don't care. Sorry, Sally Rooney. Like I said, I don't think she's gonna be like my thing. Very different from like the other books. I think she's gonna be too, I'm not like other girls. I think she's gonna be like too cool for school. Like, I have all the answers to the universe, and I feel like that's the vibe I'm getting from what people say about her. And maybe I'm like, okay, give it 20 more years, girl, and let me know. But I'm not sure. Maybe she'll change my life. There's plenty of people who I've read and changed like the way even I view the world. So we'll see. I have my physical copy because we're supposed to expect rain until Friday. So it might rain today too. If the power goes off, I have the physical copy. So anyways, this is what I'm gonna be reading next, and I'll let you know when I make a little dent in this book. Okay, I've been thinking like, why am I forgetting the next book? Because I hated it. Okay, another one that I hate is Sally Rooney, Normal People. I give it 2 stars. That was my lowest rating. Sally Rooney, like, no, this book. 2 horrible people being horrible to each other, learning nothing. One of them kind of makes an effort. Well, one of them is making an effort at the end to better themselves, but the communication isn't there. Like, the open communication, the honesty isn't there anyways. So they got leaps and bounds to go. Like, from the beginning, I was like screaming like, go to therapy, and throughout the whole thing. And I guess this is sort of like a book where they try to tell you something or teach you something, or tell you how, like, when someone comes from like a screwed up background, things can happen. But really, like, almost every character in this book is horrible, and very few of them are like good people. So it should be called bad people instead of normal people. So yeah, I didn't like it. And again, you can have books with people who are unlikable, but you have to give like a good reason, or you have to set it up in a way that is believable. I don't understand why we are listening to this story. It's just like listening to your friends talk about people who mistreat them, and you're just like, oh, okay, sitting there like, no, you wouldn't do that, so why am I listening to a book like that? So anyways, I didn't like Sally Rooney. I'll give her a chance for another book, because the first time I read her, I read something from her, but I didn't like that one. Hey everybody, so it's day 4. I'm gonna read Malibu Rising. So I actually started it this morning already. I'm having the same problems that I think I had with Seven Husbands and Daisy Jones. There's a pattern and style of storytelling with Taylor Jenkins Reid that I don't really like. One of them is making like excuses for horrible behavior that I don't particularly like. I'm finding these characters a lot more likable, because family, like 4 siblings, and there's certain things about the mom that I liked, but with this pattern that she has of excusing people for their bad behavior, she kind of ruined that other character for me. I feel like her storytelling is more like television based. It feels like a series. You can see the whole thing play out. but because it feels more like a script that is being adapted into a novel. So I feel like she's more visual, and she just kind of is writing books based on like the series that it's already imagining. Probably after this, I'm gonna like know that she is not an author for me. Not hate her. I know that I say hate a lot in this video. I don't hate any of these books up to now. I just really don't like them, and I don't like the tropes and the pattern, and I think that's just the style of writing, and that's just not for me. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll let you know how I feel about it. Hey everybody, so I finished Malibu Rising. So here are my thoughts. I definitely don't think that Taylor Jenkins Reid is for me. I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the stories that I'm reading, but I feel like this could have been 3 books. So we have the story of Mick Rivas and June and their marriage and all that, and how that started, right? Like in the 50s. And then we have their children, like the aftermath of what like horrible parenting can do, and the lives of the children. And then we have the party that's going on, like the 24, I think more like 12 hours of that party, where everything kind of like years of things that have been going on, and what the children have, who they have grown up to be, and the consequences also of their own action. Everything kind of implodes in that party, but the tones are very different. Like the first part where we see the history of Meek and June, it does feel very like a classic movie. And then you have this like 80s setting that feels like a series. And then you have the party that feels like a comedy movie. So the tone, I feel like, changes a lot. It feels so long because you're telling 3 different stories. You're going into deep details about each and every one of the stories. Then we have like a dozen side characters that I don't care for. It's fine if you're writing unlikable characters, but if you're writing a lot of unlikable characters that are just filler for the book, what's the point? What's even the point? Like, who cares? Who cares about these people? Like, why am I hearing their stories? I care about the 4 children, and that's it. Was it horrible like Evelyn Hugo that I just was so mad about it? No. The siblings definitely save it. One of them I feel is a little bit underdeveloped. That's fine. Maybe they should have spent more time developing that instead of learning about all those side characters. But anyways, the thing that still bothers me about Taylor Jenkins Reid is that she writes diverse characters, but they seem to be token, and I know that other people have talked about it. They seem to be like the token characters. They seem to just, she seems to pick, I don't know what to think about it. Here you have the Rivas is a Latino last name, and there's nothing mentioned about the culture, anything. It's just the last name. And there's a scene where she even mentions that cops go into the house, and she says if it was Compton, if it was this, if it was that, they wouldn't just knock at the door. They would I don't know, like just barge in. But because this is a white people's house, and it's like, wait, white people house, their name is Rivas. So what do you mean? Like, so it felt like whitewashing also them. So why give them that name? They could have been I don't know, they could have been the Rivers, they could have been any name. Like, why give them the name Rivas and then do nothing with it? It feels like token, feels like look, there's a Latino like character, let's go buy the book representation, and there's nothing. It again rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't know, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna reread any of them. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about Taylor Jenkins Reid. Hey everybody, so it's day 4. I'm gonna read Malibu Rising. So I actually started it this morning already because we have another storm today and the power's probably gonna go off at some point, and I wanted to make a dent with the book and the audiobook, so I'm reading in tandem. And so far okay with it. I'm having the same problems that I think I had with Seven Husbands and Daisy Jones, even though I didn't read the book, I watched the series. But I think there's a pattern and style of storytelling with Taylor Jenkins Reid that I don't really like. One of them is making like excuses for horrible behavior from people instead of having them learn and be better. I'm finding these characters a lot more likable because family, like 4 siblings, and there's certain things about the mom that I liked, but with this pattern that she has of excusing people for their bad behavior, she kind of ruined that other character for me. It felt incredibly long, like it could have been a shorter book. Like she takes a long time describing or presenting certain things that are not like that big a deal or that important, and the important moments are um like set up quicker, like in a short amount of time. So, I don't know, I don't think she's gonna be, for me this is gonna be like technically the 3rd book from her that I try, but probably after this I'm gonna like know that she is not an author for me. Not hate her. I know that I say hate a lot in this video, and I don't hate her. There's other authors that I've talked about before that I have hated the books. I don't hate any of these books up to now. I just really don't like them, and I don't like the tropes and the pattern, and I think that's just the style of writing, and that's just not for me. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll let you know how I feel about it when I'm done. Hey everybody, so I finished Malibu Rising. So here are my thoughts. I definitely don't think that Taylor Jenkins Reid is for me, but I feel like this could have been 3 books because we have spoilers. I'm gonna go into spoilers right now. So we have the story of Mick Rivas and June at their marriage and all that, and how that started, right? Like in the 50s. And then we have their children, like the aftermath of what like horrible parenting can do, and the lives of the children. And then we have the party that's going on, like the 24, I think more like 12 hours of that party, where everything kind of like years of things that have been going on, and what the children have, who they have grown up to be, and the consequences also of their own action. Everything kind of implodes in that party, but the tones are very different. Like the first part where we see the history of Meek and June, it does feel very like a classic movie. Like I said, this feels a lot like it is intended to be a series or something, or a movie. It feels very much like from that point of view because of how things are described and different settings. So that feels like a classic movie, like from the 50s. And then you have this like 80s setting that feels like a series. And then you have the party that feels like a
comedy movie, so that tone I feel like changes a lot from very serious to like, it feels like we go from a drama to like a like a family setting type show to like a comedy movie. And this is just one book and it's not that long. Same with Seven Husbands. It's not that long, but it feels so long. It feels so long because you're telling three different stories. You're going into deep details about each and every one of the stories. And let me just say, the thing about the party is that you obviously see everything that's going on with the children, but then we have like a dozen side characters that I don't care for. I know that you're setting up like the people who are at the party, and I don't know if any of them are gonna be in future like books, but I don't care about any of those people. Like, it doesn't matter, and it just makes it seem like everybody is unlikable. And I guess that's her thing. That's her like stick, I guess, like writing unlikable characters, because I hated everyone in Evelyn Hugo. I hated everyone in Daisy Jones. And I mean, I actually like the siblings, but like a lot of the people at the party, like hateful people, obviously Mick and all that part of like where the family starts, are not like likable characters. And I've said it before, that's fine if you're writing unlikable characters, but if you're writing a lot of unlikable characters that are just filler for the book, what's the point? What's even the point? I think I'm gonna take this, take Evelyn Hugo that I have, take Daisy Jones that I haven't read, and I'm just not even gonna bother, because I know that a lot of people also talked about the representation of um in Daisy Jones and the Six. There was also pretty bad and people were a little bit upset about. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and sell them all on my shop, as I said, for people who wanna enjoy these books. Do I hate her? No, I don't hate her. Do I hate this book? No, I don't hate it. It's shit annoying sometimes. Yeah. Am I gonna give it like a huge rating? Am I gonna care about any? I care about. Actually, I guess this is the only good thing. I do care about those siblings, and I do care about Casey. If you know, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna reread any of them, and uh, yeah. I guess that's all I have to say about Taylor Jenkins Reid. Anyways, that was Malibu Rising. I was thinking about starting book 5, but honestly, this feels so long. And I read it in a day. I started at like 6, and I think it's like 3. So I think I'm just gonna rest today, have some early dinner, watch some TV, and not think about it anymore. So I'll see you tomorrow with book number 5.
Hey everybody, so it's day 5 of reading books I think I'm not gonna like, reading Booktok books I think I'm gonna hate. And the last book that I picked is The Summer I Turned Pretty. This is a little bit of cheating because okay, I was looking for a list of popular Booktok books, and a lot of them I don't have, or I wasn't able to access them like so quickly via audiobook. So this one actually came up. I already saw like what's like the series up to like season 1 and season 2. I'm not a huge fan. Like, I put it like to pass the time, but I'm not a huge fan. And I know that the book had like some problematic things, so I was pretty sure that I was gonna hate this one. Um and I already started. I decided to start it yesterday. Yeah, I was like in a roll of listening to books, so I just decided, hey, let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm not even halfway done. I think I'm like a third in. And yeah, definitely there's few things that I don't like. about this book. I don't like the I feel like there's body shaming in here, which is not in the series, or I didn't catch it in the series, and I don't like that. Like, I don't feel like at this day and age we should be writing those kind of things. I know that the whole plot is that, oh, like the ugly duckling into like a swan thing for the summer, but you can do that in different ways nowadays. Like, not everything has to be about like body shaming or about looks. It could be about being maybe insecure last summer and this summer gaining a little bit more confidence because you achieve certain things, or you have more life experience, because that's how it actually goes. It's not necessarily because you changed your body. People get confident because they put themselves out there, they achieve things. Again, not necessarily like big things, like little goals that they have for themselves, or little thing that they do. We still have this dialogue about if you change your look, or if you grow up, or if you put on makeup in a bigger cup size, then you're worth it, then you're better, then people won't make comments, then people will look at you. And that's not true. That is not reality. Once you grow up a little bit more, you realize that everybody has beauty in them, and everybody has the opportunity to find love, and that has nothing to do with the way they actually look. So I don't like that this is YA. The characters are super young. So my whole point with this is I didn't like the way that this book still talks about that. I don't know when it was published, but yeah, I don't think this kind of commentary is necessary in these types of books that young girls are gonna be reading. So I'm glad I didn't see that in the show, or at least I think I didn't see that. But yeah, I don't like it that it's in the book, that people are gonna pick up the book and see all that. Or I hope that when they do, they recognize that it's not right, that all of those comments are wrong, and they don't it's 2025. People don't talk like that. People don't view other people like that anymore, or we're trying to teach people not to do that. At least I am with the people that are around me. So yeah, I didn't like that. The other thing is, yeah, definitely I have heard about Belly and her friend. Like, in the series, they're also like really good friends, and they have a really nice, sweet relationship, like her best friend. And here it does feel more like frenemies. She does say a lot of things. She doesn't even seem like she likes her friend. I think her name is Taylor. So if you don't even like your friend, why is she there? And again, why are we putting two girls who are best friends like against each other? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna put like a secondary character that is the main girl's best friend, make her actual friends. Like, this whole frenemy thing, it doesn't work anymore. And there's other tropes that I think that are not aging well, let's say that. Yeah, I guess this is aging like sour milk. I'm glad we have the series, and yeah, I'm gonna continue listening to it today, and I'll let you know what I think more once maybe halfway, or once I'm done. I'm not sure, but anyways, I'm gonna continue listening to that and reading while I eat my lunch today. Hey everyone, I'm done with The Summer I Turned Pretty, and what a strange ending. If you've seen the series, there's a couple of things that happen in the series that doesn't happen in the book, and vice versa, like any adaptation. So here I go. With the spoilers. So the first thing that I actually did like about this book is the fact that there's not really a love triangle, at least in this book. So we have Jeremy, who feels something for Belly, and he does tell her. And I like that, because love triangles between siblings, gross. I hate that trope. Like, that's really like a trope that I think is gross. And how do you go back with that? And that TV show, honestly, I feel like it's
made a whole mess of that because it's just gross. They're like related already. They have like a weird sibling type relationship. So yeah, it's like crossing way too many lines. So I like the fact that the book does that. So I do like that. I like how the whole Conrad and Belly thing um happens at the very end, or almost the very end, and how they are kind of taking their time because of the situation they're in. I will not spoil that if you haven't seen the show or read the books, because it's a pretty serious situation. However, the thing that I didn't like, when Conrad and Belly were finally like at the stage of being like honest, and they know about this thing with Conrad's mom. Belly, all she can think about is like, oh my god, I'm kissing Conrad, or and I feel like, girl, like wake up, like this is not just about you, and that feels very selfish. And Belly does seem very selfish in a lot of parts of the book, and it's part of the thing that they're calling out. They call her out on. But why would you make your main character dislikable like that? I know there's growing pains. I know that you can be in your own world when you're growing up, but it is one thing to be in your own world because all of your emotions are very intense, and that's why you feel like everything is heightened. But like the relationship and everything that is established, like we know that Belly should be more aware of things, and the fact that she's clueless through the whole summer, that she thinks that everything revolves around her, like I feel like it's not really like when you're setting up her, how she is with Susanna and with her mom and with everything, you wouldn't think she would be so oblivious, and then you make her like, oh, she turns 15, or she's in the summer of turning almost 16, and she's growing up, and do your brain cells die when you turn pretty? Like I don't understand why is she all of a sudden turning pretty and at the same time turning selfish and turning into like someone who doesn't pay attention to her surroundings, into someone who uh doesn't seem to know what's going on with people that she says that she cares about. Like that doesn't make any sense. So I feel like this character isn't like well behaved. Like there's certain tropes that they wanted to achieve, but there's no logic to that. Like if she was a self-conscious insecure person with no like real like solid relationships, you would understand why. But because she does have some solid relationship with adults and with these two brothers, like she should be more aware of what's going on between them. So I don't know, I feel like that doesn't make any sense, that she doesn't know what's going on. And then she's kind of rude to Cameron. Like I like them on the show, I like them here also. Yes, he has his couple of dorky like guy things that he does, but he's not he doesn't have ill intentions. He is a polite person, he is a very honest person, and he communicates what he wants. And I feel like he is a catch, and honestly Belly doesn't deserve him. So I used to think, oh, I wish Belly would have stayed with him. It would have like set up a more like healthy relationship, but honestly I don't think she deserves him. So I don't know, like there's a lot of things in this book that I don't like, that I don't feel like they even represent like young people that well, like being selfish, being careless, being like rude to your best friend, and critical of her, and no, like a lot of things that I would tell other people, like younger people in my life, like don't be like this, or look out for people who are like this because they're not really your friends. Like all that is Belly. Like, so why are we rooting for this girl? And anyways, but the whole situation, and again, because I already saw the series, I do have sort of like a connection to it. Like I'm already in too deep with this. So I think that if I hadn't seen the series and I hadn't heard anything and I would just read the book, I would probably hate it. Like this would be something that I would hate. um but because, like I said, I watch things and then I can't just like quit like series in the middle. I have to watch the whole thing. I'm already in too deep. I already know the situation. I already know these people. And yeah, even though Belly makes a lot of mistakes, I'm kind of hoping that one day she'll grow out of it. um and yeah, it's normal for them to make mistakes, but I feel like in this case, like the things that she does are pretty like severe in the way she treats people. She's pretty rude, and she's rude to her mom, she's rude to her friend, she's rude to her brother, like she's rude to Cameron, like she's rude to everyone. So I don't know, Belly, like what kind of main character are you? So anyways, um I gave it 3 stars. If I would have known nothing about this, I would have probably given it 2 stars. I would have hated her and I would not read anything else. So I guess this is a book that I thought I was gonna hate, and if I'm being honest, I do hate it. I guess, but because I know more of the backstory and more of what's to come, I can be objective about it. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars based on everything that I already know. Um, is blinding me. So anyways, and I really like the actress. So I think because she is like so nice and charming in real life, like she's blinding me too. That's gonna be it for this book and this blog. So I ended up reading 5 books for this blog. And do I think that Booktok books are bad books that I'm gonna hate every time? No, actually no. I was the most surprised with um I was definitely the most surprised with Akatar. I was afraid that this would happen. Honestly, I was kind of dreading reading it because I thought, God, if I like it, am I gonna be like one of those people who is obsessed with it? But I don't think like the representation of what this book like Akatar is, or at least the first book, is quite real online. Like the first book really is setting up a fantasy world, Beauty and the Beast retelling. Like you can see this world and you can see like the setup of like this universe, right? And the whole smutty thing, like crazy thing that people think that everybody's just reading it for that. It's very very like short, like maybe 3 scenes in the whole like 400 something page book. So I think it Akatar does get a bad rep, like that first book. I don't know if the rest they kind of turn on that, but the first book at least kind of gets a bad rep. So yeah, I'm glad that I read it. Like I said, I might continue the series. I'm not in any hurry to continue it. It's not my new favorite series or anything. But yeah, I think I liked it. Let's leave it at that. Just like Ali Jesus was definitely someone that surprised me. I got maybe like an idea that I thought that maybe I would like her, but I wasn't sure. And again, because people focus just on the smut online, I thought, ugh, this might be too much. And honestly, it was like a lot of, not a lot of the book, like a third of the book. But you know that that's like the point. You know that this is an adult contemporary romance book. I like the theme of STEM. I like the book that I picked, which is To Can Play, which is like game developers working together. So I like that there's an equal footing. Like they're not even co-workers because they work for a different company, but they're at the same level. So I like that there's no someone who is above someone else and maybe taking advantage. I don't like that. So this was really even playing field for everything, and I did like it. I thought it was really good with talking about like communication and consent and different types of stuff like that. I feel like I would recommend this to young women. who are wanting to get into romance novels, because a lot of the tropes, a lot of the representation, a lot of like the way women are supposed to act, I feel like is still very uh um traditional still. There's still a little bit of a lens of male gaze, I guess, at in some stories, not all of them, but in some stories. And that didn't happen here with Ali Hazelwood. So she really surprised me, and I really did like her. I think I gave it 4 stars. I really liked that book. So that was the first one. The second one was Akatar. The third one was, okay, I've been thinking like, why am I forgetting the next book? Because I hated it. Okay, another one that I hate is Sally Rooney, Normal People. I give it 2 stars. That was my lowest rating. Honestly, I would have given this one 2 stars too, but again, like backstory. Um, so because I'm already invested, it bumps it up like 2 or 3 stars. But Sally Rooney, like, no, this book, two horrible people being horrible to each other, learning nothing. One of them kind of makes an effort. Well, one of them is making an effort at the end to better themselves, but the communication isn't there. Like the open communication, the honesty isn't there anyways. So they got leaps and bounds to go. Like from the beginning, I was like screaming like, go to therapy, and throughout the whole thing, it should be called bad people instead of normal people. So yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like Sally Rooney. I'll give her a chance for another book, because the first time I read her, I read something from her, but I didn't like that one. Okay, and then the next book that I read was Malibu Rising. Same thing, unlikable people mostly. However, the 4 main characters, with which are the siblings, I really did like them, and the mistakes that they make are a bit more grounded in reality, and you can kind of understand why they make those mistakes. But it's actually not explored as much, because we're so busy exploring other timelines and other stories that we don't care about. So in this case, I like the main characters. I don't like a lot of the side stories that was like filler, and we could have developed the main characters even more. And again, whenever they have like bad people trying to be charming and excusing their bad behavior just because they're charming, I find that trope like really gross. And like, why are we forgiving people just because they put on a smile for the horrible things that they do? Like, again, it's like, wake up, what are you doing? And I like that the main character catches that like from the beginning, and she's like, nope, this is it, like, I'm not gonna take it. I feel like more people should be like that. So yeah, did I completely dislike it? No. Did I like it more than others? Taylor Jenkins Reid, yes. However, because I didn't there were a lot of stuff that I didn't like structurally how it was written, I think that's gonna be like a no for Taylor Jenkins Reid. And then the last one that I read, The Summer I Turned Pretty. uh I will excuse Belly for all the mistakes, because she is so young and she is learning and she is on that path, I guess. I just want her to kind of wake up a little bit and uh learn faster and not be so self-absorbed. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have read any of these books. Let me know if you guys follow a lot of Booktok recommendations and pick books that are there, or try to pick books another way. If you made it to the end, comment like a video game related emoji if you can find one, because I think my favorite from this whole blog was to can play. So yeah, definitely I think Ali Hazelwood was the winner. Okay, so if I put it between first place that I like and last place that I hate, first place would go to Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. Then I would have Sarah J. Maas with Court of Thorns and Roses. I can't believe I'm saying that. Third place, I would give it to The Summer I Turned Pretty. She didn't make me want to kill anyone in here. The fourth place would be To Malibu Rising. I like some of the characters, but not all of them, and didn't like the structure. And Normal People would be the last one. It was torture. So anyways, let me know what you think of these books.